You're the MS Data Science program, correct?
That is correct.
And you started last fall. And were you currently working at Caterpillar at that time?
I was currently working at Caterpillar as a pricing analyst in our treasury department.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about what a pricing analyst does.
What a pricing analyst does is they take just different facets of pricing, whether it be in currencies or whether it be pricing any type of, I would say, product. And what we try to do as a pricing analyst is that we try to, based on the economy, based on our company policies, and based on what we're trying to gain as far as in profits, that your product, your currency, or whatever you're pricing is priced at an amount that the consumer can actually feel good about purchasing.
How long had you been in that role?
That particular role, I've been at Caterpillar for a little bit over 18 months, but I've been a pricing analyst for a little bit over 8 years.
Okay, so you did that with other companies then.
Yeah,
You completed the Bachelor of Science in Data Analytics from Lipscomb University.
that is correct.
So this is kind of your obviously your background working with data, analyzing it, and so it makes perfect sense that you would be a pricing analyst doing that kind of work. At what point did you start thinking, I want to pursue a master's program. I want to kind of build on what I've done so far.
The point became what in most of the reporting that you'll see in the industry, most people want to know about the historical piece of what we've done as performance. And what I found is that when you constantly are regurgitating the performance, it doesn't give you the whys and it doesn't give you how can we get better. And so what I found is that I was limiting myself based on only being able to put together the piece of the puzzle that tells about the past. What I really wanted to do was learn how to be a value add to a company or in my position as a pricing analyst to really be able to not only tell about, okay, our past performance, but be able to also add some type of forecast or add some type of understanding of why the price should be this or why the price should be changed. I wanted to be able to have more of a just an impact, not just the reporting part, but have an impact on the future of the pricing as well.
You started looking at programs, I assume.
Right.
What
Yeah.
what what brought you to Meharry?
Well, Birmingham and Harry was not only the historical piece of it, being a historically black college, but also I absolutely love the feedback that I got immediately after applying. A lot of times when you apply to different programs, it takes weeks for people to get back with you. The interview process to even be a part of the program to me stood out. It wasn't just about put the application in and then you're accepted or not. They really took the time to go out of their way to like set up an inviting environment and so for you to not only learn about the program but for someone else to learn about even if I wanted to make sure that what I was getting into was something that was worth my time.
What is your new title at Caterpillar?
My new title is I am a data scientist too.
Excellent. It's great that you get to start using that role, or I mean that
Yes.
that title. I always think of that's like, oh, you gotta go through all these steps, but it shows
Yeah.
you're doing great work. Uh, how did that come about? Was it just as simple as there was an opening, you applied for it? Tell me a little bit about how.
Well, it came about because one, I was in the program, and one of the things that I believe in is when I invest in myself or when Harry has taken the time to educate me, I didn't want my skill set to sit on the shelf. And I knew that artificial intelligence was a big boom. So I knew that where I was at my company, that they're wanting to move forward and they're wanting to do better in reporting. They're wanting to become better at what we do. And so I asked myself, how can I be a part of that growth? And it's not just about, okay, well, because our classes are actually hitting where we what we use in today's industry, our classes are preparing us to go to work immediately. The things that I learned in class I'm like, I knew I couldn't use them in my current position. So I'm like, okay, I got to find a way to use these skills. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I began to go to some groups and some continuous improvement committees and lunches. And I was able to actually just really begin to see how to put the skills that I was learning at school immediately into practice. And I said, but I want to do it at a larger scale. So I began to look at different analytic positions that will come across as far as the board for available jobs, and the data scientist role came available.
And well, that sounds great. And obviously, it's great to hear that, the program is giving you what you can to like actually move into that job right now, but also your, work ethic to like not just sit here and wait, but to actually go out and take the steps to not just say, hey, you're obviously not just filling out applications. You are out there talking to people, and people are understanding what you're doing. And those are obviously, there's the soft skills to this and the hard skills to it. And it seemed like you're taking both approaches, so that's wonderful. Can you tell me a little bit about, you've been in the, so this is your second semester with the program. What can you talk about kind of the specifics? I assume you might have had some of the programming with the Python, but not at all. Okay.
Not at all.
All right.
So I think I am like one of the few. There are very many people in our class that do have a background, and they're very helpful to us this is our first time approaching it from a programming background. I did not have a Python background or a programming background. It was straight analytics through Excel. But one of the things I loved about the program is that the approach of it and the way that they taught, their way that they're teaching us, anyone can come into the program and excel if you're willing to put in the hard work. So the way that our classes are designed, even though we are in a hybrid environment, I mean, most of our jobs are over Zoom or over Teams, so that makes it comfortable. Our professors are available if you have questions about your assignment. I'm sure I'm one of the ones that probably on all of the email chains. I'm like, I need some help. So they were always available to, like, if you get stuck on something, or if you don't understand something, or if you need further instructions, our professors have always been available to go the extra mile. And especially for someone like me that did not have a coding background, had an analytic background, but that's totally different from a coding background.
Mhm.
And that the way that the program was set up in our first semester, we did modules that really, really helped set the stage. And if you put the time in, then you'll get a lot out of it, as far as even if you don't have any coding background at all.
Okay. Were there certain skill sets that you had learned in just, a semester and a half when getting that were best suited for this new role? Or was it just you happen to have this strong analytical background from not only your bachelor's program, but from 8 years of being a pricing analyst, and then you added the coding that you need to kind of move forward in data science? What was the picture that you were able to put together?
So the picture that I was able to put together, because I can be transparent, I was a little afraid about being a little older and doing this program. But what I found for where I am in my current job is this is perfect, because you have a generation that we were very heavy in Excel, but now you have a generation that's very heavy in just technology going fast and automation. And so what I was able to do was just really marry the two and find my niche, which I think is going to be on the side of automation of a lot of our reporting and things like that in order to move forward. But the program itself, if you're saying that it's only been a month and a half, but the level of the time that we put in and the modules that we do, whether it's extra modules that our professors tell us to work through, there are a lot of assignments that it's all about what you put in, because of course we all can go get code from ChatGPT, but do you understand the code? And that is the thing. Like I hear that a lot, like because I'm not gonna say that sometimes I don't use it, but it's about, do I understand what is it bringing to me? And that's the part where I wanted to grow in my understanding of AI, machine learning, and different things like that. But I also wanted to bridge that gap from the heavy Excel learners and the heavy Excel processors from the past, to kind of be that, just to be that person that can help navigate to the technology of the future, if that makes sense.
Absolutely does. So tell me now a little bit about what you're doing now in your current role.
So what I'm doing now is actually what we just talked about, which is the automation piece. As a data scientist who's not a senior data scientist, but I am a data scientist, I'm able to meet with many of our, we have a newly formed team at Caterpillar Financial called the BIS team, is our business intelligence data solutions team. And what our jobs, we all have different aspects of our jobs that we do, but my piece that I bring to the data science team is working on automation of our reporting. And to me, that is very important because of the fact that if you're, I remember my interview with Meharry for the data science, and one of the interviewers said that, oh wow, I know what you can work on right now, and that is from reporting from your department to the boardroom. And that's kind of where I see myself. I see myself as someone, again, who can speak to people who are about to retire, help them see the use of the technology that we have today to automate many of the tasks that most people may be afraid of, because they say, oh, well, we'll lose our jobs. But it's actually not going to be that way. It's actually going to make them more efficient in what they do. And so my piece is to really help galvanize automation from our reporting processes in some of our departments.
Again, congratulations on
Thank you.
I would say not just the new role, but I want to congratulate you on your full assessment of like, I'm gaining these skills. I want this to be a part of my job. And as I obviously sounds like as you grow through the program completely, again, you have probably more time than you want to think about right now to keep going through it. But
Yeah.
you're going to learn a lot more.
Yes.
And
Very excited
you're
for that machine
positioning
learning
yourself
piece.
to keep applying that into your work, and I have no doubt you'll continue to be noticed there. So congratulations, and thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
talking with me.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.